What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And this is very exciting news because the Liverpool Echo published an interview with Shaqiri, who of course crashed out of the World Cup at the hands of Sweden, who will play England in the quarterfinals. And Shaqiri has confirmed that he wants to stay in the Premier League, and he also said in an interview, which I will read to you shortly, that he will be revealing his next club very soon. And I also am hearing people talking about this, that apparently Liverpool have booked a medical for today, and there will be an announcement of some sort of a player very soon, in the next few days, possibly later this week. So there could be a major announcement by Liverpool FC unveiling a new player. Could that be Shaqiri? It's very likely, very possible, because Shaqiri said, at the moment I can't say anything, you are going to hear soon on my future. He also said this: I was not thinking about this because I was just focused on my national team and wanted to make a good tournament for my team and my nation. It's pretty normal to be aware of clubs being interested. I don't know, it's not dependent on me sometimes. Of course I would like to play on the biggest stage in football, everybody knows that. I hope I can stay in the Premier League. I hope so, you never know with football, I don't rule out anything. But he said that you will hear about my future very soon, and I'm really excited about this. Also later in this video we will talk about Jurgen Klopp potentially keeping Loris Karius as Liverpool's #1 next season. Let me know what they think about this. I'm pretty upset, but I can understand if we have to pay like 80 to 90 million pounds for Oblak or Alisson, then I think Liverpool won't be able to do that. So we might stick with Karius and hopefully sign a better, maybe goalkeeper in the January transfer window or next summer transfer window. And there is talk of Liverpool selling Mignolet and maybe bringing in a new young player. There are talks of Matt Ryan of Brighton mentioned, or Nick Pope of Burnley. I would be fine with both goalkeepers, but they are not the long-term solution in my opinion. And they would just compete with Loris Karius for the #1 shirt. And maybe we will sell Mignolet, and also Danny Ward could be leaving Liverpool. So let me know what do you think about this news. But let's take a look at this interview by Shaqiri. So he is saying that his next club will be potentially a Premier League club, and he will confirm and unveil his future very soon. So that means that negotiations are already on the way with one or two clubs. Manchester United and also Liverpool are heavily linked with Shaqiri, and people are saying on Twitter that Liverpool have booked a medical for today, and there will be a player announcement in the coming days, potentially today or tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And this excites me. There is always great excitement from the Liverpool fans where a new Liverpool player is announced. So I'm really excited and looking forward to this. And I think Shaqiri has really mixed the Liverpool fan base. It has really mixed the opinion of people, and I'm on the fence at the moment. Of course I would be happy if Liverpool signed Shaqiri. There is rumors that he would cost 60 million euros plus some add-ons. That's about 12-13 million pounds. And at that price, Shaqiri is a low-risk transfer. And yes, he is a pretty inconsistent player, and he hasn't scored a bucket load of goals for Stoke City, but it's very difficult to score a lot of goals for a relegation threatened team. His numbers are not really great, you know, because at Stoke he scored just 15 goals in 3 seasons in total, which is not a lot. And that is what worries me. 15 goals in 3 seasons is not an awful lot of goals. Shaqiri is already 26 years old, so he's pretty experienced. What gives me hope is that he scored 8 goals in the season that just finished. That was actually Stoke City's worst season, but it was also Shaqiri's best season. So it's a pretty contrasting two facts. Shaqiri is a player who can score a worldie, who can have the game of his life, one game, and then he has 2 or 3 games where he basically goes missing. And that's the problem that I think worries many Liverpool fans, including myself. But for 12 million, I say it's worth a risk, because if Shaqiri improves massively for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, I think he would be a really good player to have coming off the bench, or sometimes playing instead of Mane or instead of Salah. What needs to improve, in my opinion, is Shaqiri's attitude and work rate, because at Stoke City sometimes it was lacking. But what gives me encouragement, I actually watched Shaqiri quite a lot at Bayern Munich, where he really had 3 very good seasons. He actually scored more goals for Bayern Munich than he scored for Stoke City. He actually scored 17 goals for Bayern Munich in a lot less games, in just 81 games. He scored 92 games, 15 goals for Stoke City. So that gives me encouragement that he could have a really good season at Liverpool, because at Bayern Munich he was working a lot harder than at Stoke City, and this is what really excites me, because Liverpool are of course a lot more similar to Bayern Munich than Stoke City, and at Stoke City I could see that Shaqiri was maybe lacking a little bit of motivation and a little bit of drive, because at Stoke City, you know, nobody expected them to finish even in the top 10. Finishing like 11th or 12th was a club record for somebody like Stoke City. And Shaqiri was maybe hindered by the fact that he was playing with pretty mediocre player in terms of the Premier League level. He was playing with pretty mediocre player at Stoke City. Also, most of the time Stoke City weren't on the front foot. They were most of the time defending with the numbers and then releasing Shaqiri on the break. So he didn't get half as many goal scoring opportunities that he would get if he started for Liverpool, and that's my main point, that his numbers don't look great. But last season he scored 8 goals for a team who got relegated the first in the Premier League for the first time in like 7 or 8 seasons, and I think at Liverpool he would get a lot more goal scoring opportunities. And also I think Jurgen Klopp wouldn't sign him if he wasn't convinced that he would fit into the Liverpool team. So I fully trust Jurgen Klopp's judgment. If he thinks that Xherdan Shaqiri could fit into this Liverpool team, and if he thinks that he could get Shaqiri's work rate up to the level required, then I'm all for this transfer, because as I already said, 12 to 15 million pounds is absolute pocket change for Liverpool. It's not a lot of money, and it's not a high risk transfer in my opinion. And let's talk about this major news. David Maddock of the Daily Mirror broke this major news that Loris Karius looks to remain as Liverpool's #1 goalkeeper, because Liverpool are missing out on Jan Oblak and Alisson. And I'm actually very disappointed about this news, but I kind of understand it, because Alisson is not worth 80 million pounds. The asking price of Roma is nowhere near good enough to be commanding that transfer fee, and Roma, I think, want just to set that price tag just to keep Alisson. Basically, Alisson had 1 good full season in the Serie A, so he's nowhere near justified to be worth 80 million pounds. On the other hand, Jan Oblak, yes, his release clause is 90 million pounds, but the big problem with that is that you have to have the cash up front and paid in full to Atletico Madrid. Which club, apart from state-owned club like Paris Saint-Germain or Manchester City, which other club has 90 million pounds cash sitting in the bank? That's not how transfers work at Liverpool FC, and this is the major problem. And Atletico Madrid don't have to sell. They are a rich club themselves. Yes, they are not as big as Barcelona or Real Madrid, but they are still a very rich club. They just signed Thomas Lemar for 60 million pounds, and I think Jan Oblak at 90 million pounds, if it was a regular transfer fee and we could split it up to 5 seasons, that would be fine. But Liverpool can't do that, because Atletico Madrid don't want to sell. His release clause is close to 90 million pounds, and if Liverpool want to trigger his release clause, how that works is you pay the 90 million pounds directly to Jan Oblak, who then pays Atletico Madrid and basically buys out his registration at Atletico Madrid, and that's how the release clause works. That's how Neymar could leave Barcelona for 222 million pounds, and I think Liverpool don't have that cash up front. So In case other alternatives become available, yes, of course, Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool will look into it. But at the moment, it looks like that Loris Karius will remain number one. Of course, I will fully support Loris Karius, who had one of the best seasons of a Liverpool goalkeeper since Pepe Reina left Liverpool, if you don't count the Champions League final. But of course, everybody, all the Liverpool fans will only say that the Loris Karius should be, you know, upgraded because of the Champions League final. And I think you have to look at the bigger picture. If Liverpool really can't sign a much better goalkeepers than Loris Karius, there is no point spending £20 million on somebody like Nick Pope or Matt Ryan, in my opinion, who is maybe on the level of Loris Karius, maybe even below that, just for the sake of signing a new goalkeeper. I think it's better that we give Loris Karius the number 1 shirt, give Danny Ward the number 2 shirt, sell Mignolet, keep scouting goalkeepers, and hopefully we can come up with a goalkeeper who could be an upgrade on Loris Karius in the January transfer window. Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to sign players just for the sake of it. Look at the Van Dijk situation. We couldn't sign Van Dijk last summer. Jurgen Klopp didn't sign a centre-back. He came in for huge criticism, but in the end we signed Van Dijk in January, and in the long term it was a great deal, because Van Dijk will be our main centre-back hopefully for the next 5, 6, 7 years, and he improved the Liverpool defense so much. So that's why I'm kind of fine with giving Loris Karius another chance. I still would want a new goalkeeper, but not somebody like Nick Pope or Matt Ryan. I would want a goalkeeper who is better than Karius straight away. I would have loved to see Gianluigi Buffon, but it looks like that he's on his way to Paris Saint-Germain, and there are not many great goalkeepers available. Courtois, of course, would be a brilliant goalkeeper, but it's very difficult to convince Chelsea to sell Courtois to one of their direct rivals, who just finished ahead of them in the Premier League. And basically Chelsea are looking to just finish ahead of Liverpool and get into the top 4 next season. So it would take a monumental transfer fee to convince Chelsea to sell Courtois to Liverpool. So that's the current goalkeeping situation. Another very interesting news is that it looks like Ousmane Dembele will stay at Barcelona because he wants to establish himself as a regular at Barcelona. And of course Jurgen Klopp is interested in Ousmane Dembele, but at the moment I think Barcelona don't want to sell him at any price, because they see the potential in Ousmane Dembele, who had a really good last 2 months at Barcelona. Before that he was really struggling because of injury and he didn't play a lot of games, but in the last 2 months he really came on in form, and also for France he scored some spectacular goals in the friendlies leading up to the World Cup. So that's how things stand at the moment. So what do you think about this transfer news? I really hope that Shaqiri will go to Liverpool, and I really hope that we still sign a new number 10, somebody like Nabil Fekir, not necessarily Nabil Fekir, even though I still hope that that transfer could be resurrected after the World Cup. But I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are working extremely hard behind the scenes to bring in the players that could improve Liverpool to another level this coming season. And on July the 7th, the Liverpool pre-season tour starts with the game against Chester, which is unfortunately at the same time as the England game, so I will be watching both games on 2 screens just to get really a good football experience. And I really want to see England how they do against Sweden in the World Cup, and also I want to see Liverpool in pre-season. So thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this, see you later, goodbye.